Welcome back to our Big Brother 23 rankings, the most accurate rankings you'll find on YouTube. But I will say our rankings this week are all over the place, honestly.
It's in the final six, it's everything's.
I just kind of feel like it just evened a lot of people out to be in the middle, but we'll see how it goes. Well, we're just going to begin quickly with our last place, number 6, Derek F. Same spot, 2.9. He's actually up from me and Dave's grades last week, barely from a 0.4 up. But
I mean, he's got a shot to win, right? I mean, he's not Alyssa or Claire last week, so he does technically have a chance to win the game. It's just not a very good one.
I don't think he has.
I don't even think he has
anymore.
Yeah, he has no chance.
I did give him like a 3.5 because I was like, there is some scenario out there in which Big D wins, but it's not likely to happen.
I put him a little bit what did I say? 3 or 2? I don't know what it was, but the reason why I give him points because I think he could probably make it to the end, but votes. I don't know. I don't even know if Ozza would give him a vote. Like if she's in the jury. I don't know who would actually do it. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe like if he's sitting next to Kylan at the end and Kylan has just burned everybody.
Yeah, honestly, that's the one scenario I could see maybe.
I mean, he does. Kylan is actually not a bad pick to take to the end, to be honest, because everyone else is playing strategically, but he's just burning bridges as he's doing that. I mean,
he's setting himself up great. I just feel like
sure.
He's won HOH so many times that he's the one with the blood on his hands, and everybody can.
It's not.
I mean, he's also very condescending to people that he talks to, right? But strategy-wise, he's putting himself in good positions in this game so that he can get to the end. If anybody, if the jury's going to be bitter to anybody, it's probably going to be towards him. Maybe Tiffany.
I still see him winning over Derek, though.
You mean losing?
I think Kylan has more.
Winning.
Yeah, I think so. But I think that is probably Big D's only real shot.
Kylan should absolutely win over Big D.
Wait. I mean, both things are true. That would be Derek's best choice to take to the end if he's in the position to do so. But I still think he doesn't have all of it. He might get some, but I don't think he has all.
I've seen players as bad as him or possibly worse win Big Brother.
Ooh, Derek
Josh.
Yes.
Look at Josh.
And he won because of the bitterness of the jury. So
that's true.
I mean, Josh, Jordan Lloyd, whoever was sitting next to Danielle Reyes in season 2, I can't even remember her name. So it could happen. Nick likes to call Claire furniture, but I mean, Big D. I mean, come on, what has he done in this game? Literally nothing.
We saw some gameplay from Claire.
Did we see gameplay from Claire? Really? I don't think so.
I think we did.
We did.
Yeah.
There was
more than we did for Big D.
I totally disagree. I will explain why. Because Big D is in an alliance and he has 3 final twos in the alliance, so he has ways to get to the end. While Claire had Tiffany and literally nothing else.
Yes.
They literally didn't make him have a partner because he was that.
No, he had a partner. His partner was just gone already.
Who was his partner?
Frenchie.
Oh my God.
That was not established. That plan wasn't established yet. At that point.
It was. It was just loosely.
It was. I completely forgot about that whole mess.
Oh, it was?
Big Brother game.
Any other thoughts on Derek F,
though? He's playing for $50,000. I mean,
he's playing.
He knows it,
and that's fine.
I mean, he's going to come out of this if he wins second place with $50K all his stipend money, and then
Yeah.
all that money he won from the veto and whatever else.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah. No,
I did feel bad for them this week though with like the competition thing.
Mm.
Oh, what happened? I honestly,
He just like was down on himself, but that's like my worst nightmare, going into a show like this and like just not being able to do any of it.
Yeah.
Well, the physical comps aren't his comps, that's for sure.
Well, neither are the mental ones.
Neither are mental.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, I get why he complains about the physical comps.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of Big Brother comps are kind of physical, no? Or has some sort of either.
I mean, he's right when he says there could be a strength comp.
Veto.
Yeah,
veto
you can have an endurance comp that's not like that. Like a big person could still compete in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Swinging around on that rope with like a 3-inch disc, he's not going to do that.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that.
I would love to try, but I would
sick.
Yeah, I would puke.
Vomiting everywhere.
Oh, really? You guys get dizzy easily? Do you guys hate roller coasters?
No, I love roller coasters.
Okay.
I just don't like the spinny rides.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
I like
I can't do those. I can do this. I just can't do this.
The way you describe, you like SpongeBob. I can do this and this. All right. Anyway,
we'll move on to number 5, who is Tiffany with a 4.3.
Oh wow!
Down 2, down 2.7.
I think
Nick put Azza as his number 1 bet.
No, I didn't, but Alex did.
I did.
Oh wow!
Because I actually really think Azza could win this.
Let's talk about Tiffany first before.
Okay.
Yeah, what was Tiffany's score?
Tiffany was a 4.3. She's coming off an absolute disastrous week for her game.
Yeah.
Her messy gameplay finally caught up with hers, really.
I said it and I ragged on her all last week, even though I still haven't changed my Reddit flair from Tiffany. She did not need to win the HOH last week. That there was nothing good that could have come out of that. And unfortunately for her, what could happen did happen, and it just blew her entire game up.
It was like worst case scenario, but do you think if she was in the final 2 that she could use that in her favor to get the cookout votes on her instead of the other person? That like
she's not
I legit put up and sent out my number 1 ally for
if she makes it.
Yeah, I think if she makes the final 2, she has a great chance of winning, but the odds of her making it are looking really slim. She's the target this week, so she has to win the veto.
She has to win the veto.
She has to win the veto in the HOH in the double.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, there's another double.
I know.
She has to comp out.
She does have a comp out.
She does have to comp out.
She actually does, yeah.
Which is why I was saying, was it last week, that it may blow up a part of her game to put up Kylan next to Xavier and get one of them out, but she wasn't going to make it to the end either way if both Xavier and Kylan were still in the game, because those two are the two that are going to beat her in comps.
Yeah.
And now Hannah's coming out and showing she can win competitions when she has to.
I mean, we think Xavier can win competitions. He still hasn't shown it.
He's shown that puzzle. He did it in like 10 seconds compared to everybody else.
Right,
anytime he's been in trouble on the block, he's gotten himself off the block, except for
I don't think X is going. I don't think he's gonna leave. I put Tiffany as a 2 because I also agree. I really think that she just has no shot of going. I don't think anyone at this point will take her or bring her forward.
This is the only one, and she needs to get off that ship. But it's probably too late for Hannah, honestly. But she needs to survive this week now.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I put Tiffany higher.
Why?
I just feel like she had a messy week, but from not watching the feeds, right? I'm the one that just watches the show. So it just makes it look like she has a good gameplay and has it in with multiple members of the cookout. Like, could she not convince them to send Hannah home over her?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think people want Tiffany in the game. They know that she's played a huge strategic game so far. It's her and Kai that ran the house, right? So if it's not Kai, it's gonna be Tiff this week.
Mm-hmm.
But do they not have a final 2?
Who?
Do, but Kai is the one that nominated her, so
Kai doesn't give a fuck. Kai doesn't have anything. Kai doesn't. Like me, he don't give a fuck. He just nominates whoever his closest allies. It's just not. It's messy. I'm very interested in seeing how the double affects him.
Yeah, the reason Tiffany goes home next to Hen is because the voting is Xavier and Derek F, and they both want Tiffany to go first. So,
yep. I mean, I've got her right in the middle. This is the lowest I've had her all season, and it's still at a 5.0 because there is a chance that she wins veto, she wins HOH, and is alive for that final 4 HOH, if she wins, she would win the final 5. These two doubles back to back have my mind all messed up with strategy, but there's a chance she could comp out, and there's a very good chance that she could go home this week if she doesn't win the veto. So it really depends on how she does in that competition, whether she stays or goes. And if she stays, that's just another thing on her resume. If she gets to the final 2, how do you not vote for her to win?
Oh yeah, she wins unanimously. Wait, do we know what happens if Hannah wins veto? Do we know who Kai wants to be on the block? I don't know.
I mean, it's likely Azza, but Tiffany's still going home.
Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. I mean,
even if he puts up Derek F, Tiffany's still going home. So either way, if Tiffany's on the block, she's going home.
Yeah, she has to win the veto.
And Nick, I know you've been saying that she's been messy all season long, but I thought she played it pretty. I mean, you could be messy and still play a good game.
No,
she got herself out of it a lot of times.
I mean, her messiness comes from her social game, though. It's like it's similar to Kylan in a way, but hers is different in that Kylan's pissing people off, but Tiffany is losing allies allies getting voted out, and just losing allies in the game because she's not trusting the right people.
Yeah. And she always constantly wants to be in control, which is sometimes you have to let it go if you're not in danger, to just let that go for a second. It's
That's really hard to do.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? you gotta have to ride the waves, and she never did. I mean, she really every single round would try to do something that she's like, it's my move, flipping it into Christian, saving Christian, all that stuff. It's nonsense. She did not need to do any of those things. She doesn't need Christian. She doesn't need Brittany. She doesn't need anyone really. So, I don't know.
When she sits out with Julie, when she's ultimately evicted, and Julie asks her what is her biggest regret in the game, it has to be not letting Kylan win that HOH.
I don't know if that's going to be her answer though, but yeah, it should be. But
she could have saved her game by just falling off that stupid.
It would have been Kylan. It would have been Kylan, the one that's being in trouble. Yeah, although he would have won HOH, so then it could have still been Tiffany, to be honest, as a target. Everyone wanted Tiffany gone before that HOH. Just saying,
yeah, but I think that solidified it.
Oh yeah, of course, but still, she was playing very dangerously for the cookout.
Any final thoughts on Tiffany?
I hope the season for her would have turned out better. I was really rooting for her, but just don't see her making it to the end.
Number 4 is Azza with a 5.0. She's up 1 spot. She's up 1.0 from last week. This is your number 1, Alex.
It is. I mean, my only explanation is I think she can get to the end, and I also think that she can win. This is only if X and Kai don't comp out the entire time, which that's very likely at this point. But I still see Azza being someone that's taken to the final 2, and then with her social game, I think she can still win it. It depends. If she's with Kai, she beats Kai. X is the only X is gonna be the winner at this point. So I don't know. But
before we get to the usual, she needs something on her resume. I was trying to go through fucking winners of the past 10 years on Big Brother, and 2-1 on resume. So I don't really think resume and Big Brother is this year.
Yeah, I think she's fine.
Has any winner not won any comps throughout the entire season?
Dr. Will.
Will won a comp or two, did he not?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Not this
but
season he won.
You don't need to win comps to win. I mean, I guess you do, but
Will wasn't like, she's actively trying to win comps, whereas players like Will, Dan, even Xavier are blatantly throwing challenges and getting away with it. Like, she's trying to win challenges and not really winning them. So
she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to. Do people know that she's trying hard? I guess so, right? I don't remember if people were like understanding that she's trying really hard, but she don't need to. I
think she's trying because she wants to win something.
Yeah.
Not because she wants the power.
Not because she wants to, yeah. She don't need the power because she kind of is always good no matter what. I mean, her and Kai have never been on the same page, or we're never on good terms, and yet she's not on the block this week.
Okay. Let me ask this then, because obviously, I think with the exception of Alex, the rest of us have Xavier over Azza. They're playing a similar game, with the exception Xavier's taken himself off the block twice. What else about the two is different? Like, they're playing pretty similarly.
He seems to me, based on watching the show and not the live feeds, that he is more active in like game talk type, like strategy conversations.
Yeah, he is more active than her, but
he is.
Which is what puts him up for me, because I see him like putting people in positions to make moves and then having an active hand in moves that are being made without having to do them himself.
We can see that, though. Can those that are on the jury see that?
I think they will once they deliberate and start talking to each other.
Well, listen, once X gets to the end, his lawyer ass is gonna fucking convince you that everything he's done is perfectly aligned with his game. Like, he's gonna convince the jury. Like, Azza doesn't have that same leg up in that area, and that's why I think, yes, X probably would win against Azza, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know. I'm not really convinced that people wouldn't try to get shot at Xavier if there's a chance to. Like, does anyone actually really want to take him to final two? Like, they shouldn't. But people have said they would, but do I really believe it? I just personally, how could you do that? How could you ever risk that much money by taking someone like X to the end? This person who is just so diplomatic. And,
I mean, it does kind of feel like either Xavier wins or the person that takes Xavier out wins.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Back to Azza. I mean, I see her no different than Big D. They're two pillows in a pod in that back room, just laying on the bed all day.
No,
and that's all I ever see of them.
That's not true.
It's not true. I feel like Azza's social game she's just better maneuver. Big D doesn't really try anything other than, he's good with Kylan and Xavier.
No one really trusts Big D, to be honest, either.
But I think Azza just, outside of developing real relationships and just being able to be in the middle of the entire fucking game now, I think that's still impressive. The fact that Kylan was going after her for the past month, but now suddenly she's extended an olive branch and now he doesn't want to nominate her is...
The only thing when I think of Azza, the only good thing about her I can think of is that she has asked people to put her on the block and they wouldn't do it. Like, that's the only argument I can make.
That is OP. That is legendary. That's legendary. She's not on the block. She's asked to be on the block. She was targeted by people who did not put her on the block. Like, there's so many aspects. To me, I feel like she's playing a game by not playing the game. Like, and that's like an active choice. DF is just not playing the game, but Azza is like, that's her strategy. Like, she's making relationships based on not playing this strategic game.
She's also been able to be honest the entire game, and now that it's towards the end, she can start telling lies. Like, she's iffy with Kylan, but he believes her.
Exactly.
He's been honest the whole game because it's added up so far.
You don't have to. You can be honest the entire game when you're not in a position of power.
Yeah, but I still think it's different because if you're getting your threat to be lowered in this game of Big Brother, you're usually a pawn the entire game, and Oz is yet to be on the block. Even though I feel like she can be this week. If
she's a good like speaker too. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can see her like final speeches to the jury.
It's not next to X. Yeah.
Right, and right next to
And her
anybody
jury
else.
management is amazing. Like the X would vote for her most, you know, unless it's like Hannah and Tiff maybe. But like, I think he would vote for her. I think a lot of people would vote for Azah. I think it depends on who she's with.
But I do think she has to get to the end with DF or possibly Kyland.
It's DF and Kai. I don't think she beats Tiff or Hannah or X.
No.
But I also think she has a better chance of getting there over some of those people that I just mentioned. So that's what I'm saying.
She still needs to take out Big D then.
Well, yeah.
I think she needs to go to the end with Big D.
That's true. That's true. She definitely beats DF, but I don't know how she could do it. How could she take?
But
Kyland, she's been discussing this thing with Kyland now, where she wants this final 3 with Kyland and Derica, the 2 people she could beat. So, I mean,
will she beat Kyland in the?
I mean, I don't know if she does, but I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I think she has a good chance.
She needs to step it up.
If she gets to the final 3 with Big D in that final 3, whoever that third person is going to take him to the final 2, no matter what. That's why she needs to take
out DF now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Big D needs to go for her, but she won't do it because that's her friend, that's her buddy, and that's probably a downfall.
We're not here to make friends.
I mean, do I want a friend or do I want $750,000?
I'm saying her, not me. Absolutely the money over friendship, but she's such a it's like a positive and a negative to her game. Like she's so personal with it that it works sometimes, you know, with Brittany, with DF. Like, I don't know, it works in moments. Her game is fascinating to watch. I think her and Hannah have my favorite to watch is the 2 of them.
Any final thoughts? Number 3 is Kyland with a 5.5, up 1, the same spot, 5.5 as last week.
Y'all put his ass low.
I gave him a 5.5.
Somebody put him low.
I did, I think. What did I say?
I also gave him a 5.5.
I gave him a 3. Sorry, I lowered him. I think he goes on the double. He really did.
I mean, he has to. If he doesn't go in this double, he's got a really good shot to win that. Let's see. This is final 6. So if he wins the final 4 HOH, he can win the final 3 HOH and secure himself into the final 2, and he should be able to win.
Yeah.
Who would need to win next HOH for him not to be on the block?
Big D.
Yeah, Big D probably.
Big D.
I don't think
not likely.
There's no way to take him further, right?
Those 3, man, Xavier, Big D, and Kyland have that final 3.
Is it a real final 3?
I think Xavier would cut Kyland.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that would be a real thing.
Well, Kyland thinks this is why Kyland is still not high for me, is because he wants to go to the end with X.
Why would he? You're not beating X. No one's beating X.
He thinks he's been playing a better game.
There's an argument to be
made. He has the resume,
but I mean, I guess, but he really, I feel like he could choose other people and then have better outcomes for himself. No? Maybe not.
I want to go to Meg with this question. Meg, what is it with the male ego that just people like Kyland want to go to the end with the best? Like, I understand it for a while to go far with the best because they're shields, but why go to the end with the best?
Why are you asking me? I'm not a male.
Well, because I just want your opinion on the male ego.
They're stupid.
Stupid, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
don't want to go to the end with the best.
Me, bro. Like, it's supposed to the end. It's a dot thing.
I would not. That is so true. That is so true. I would never do that shit. I'm taking Q right out. Like, I'm not doing it. Oh no.
I think it's also, it could just be that, like, I'm only the best if I can beat the best, and it's like would pump him up higher if he actually won against Xavier, and maybe
I'm the best
ego
if I
is big enough
win.
that he thinks he can beat Xavier.
Just
that's what I'm saying. He thinks he's playing this like such an amazing game, and that Xavier's not. But
I don't think he doesn't think Xavier's not. I think he thinks Xavier's playing a good game, but he's hearing everybody say, like Claire in her speech, that Xavier's going to win if he makes the end, but Kylan thinks he can make the end and beat Xavier.
That is such a risky bet to take on. Like $1 million. Is it $1 million or 750? I forget what it is. But
750.
Like that is not. It is just not a good bet to be on. Like if people are saying X is going to win the game, my first thought would not be that let me actually take X and beat him and show everyone how good I am.
That is literally the worst thing you can say about somebody in these games.
I know, exactly. Let me just win the money. I don't care who's. No, that is ridiculous. Kylan's delusional. He's always been.
Yeah, I can buy a plaque, with that $750,000 that says I am the best with my name underneath it.
And still have a lot of money left.
I don't need anybody else to think that. I have a plaque that says that and telling me. That's all I need.
These people are insane.
They are.
Yeah, Kylan's playing a good snake game, a good chaotic game, but it's pissing people off. Claire hates Kylan right now, and I feel like there's Cookout members that wouldn't vote for him, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he has to really make his case of like, I did, or he has to own it up. He has to own up the whole snake bit, the whole being a villain. Like he has to own that, because you can't say he did it for the Cookout, because he honestly didn't. Like the moves that he made aren't like necessarily Cookout, beneficial. It's just he just wants to play a chaotic ass game and lie to everybody. So
that's why I put him in the middle, because I really just feel like he could pull. I mean, I just don't know. I'm pretty confident he's going to get out in the double.
Yeah, I agree.
But if he makes it to the end, he could have something good to say. And maybe the jury likes.
He's not going to have enough time to say everything he wants to say if he gets to the end.
He won't. But that's
he's going to get 2 sentences out. He'll get 2 sentences out, and Julie will be like, "Okay, we've given you enough time," and he's going to be toast.
Oh, maybe Kylan is a good person to bring to the end. Wow. You know what? Everyone change your plans. Take Kylan to the end. Yeah, I think honestly, good shot.
Any other thoughts on Kylan?
No, not really.
Yeah, even Alyssa in one of her goodbye interviews, she said something positive about everybody except Kylan. So It's not looking great for Kylan and Jerry. But number 2 is Hannah with a 5.9. Same spot, but down a 1.6.
I want to see Hannah win this game.
Me too.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't know if it's in the cards.
I don't know either. I think she played a little too hard when she was HOH, I think. Or even like just the past few, I think.
Just the past week. She kind of got connected to Tiffany's drama, and then her HOH didn't help.
Her racking was really, really well. Like it was doing spectacular, and I think it's starting to catch up a little bit. And I don't know if people trust her. I don't think she doesn't have anyone that really wants her at the end. So it's scary for her, but I think she can pull it off. She's really good at like spinning stories and making sure that the narrative is in her advantage. But we shall see, especially if Tiffany gets off the block and Hannah goes up against Azah. Hannah goes home, right?
Hannah's gone home. So if Tiffany wins veto, Hannah's gone.
That's actually exciting. It has to be one of them, huh?
That last HOH, that's another one that I feel Hannah didn't really need to win, because if Alyssa won that veto, Hannah's fucked with having to split up the Cookout. So it was just and she said like the week before, why would I want to win this HOH when other people can do the dirty work for me? And then she turned around and won it. And I'm wondering if it's just in the moment.
I don't know.
We hypocrites though, because she's one of the players we've been like, oh, she needs a resume.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think people need a resume, to be honest. I think like in Big Brother at least, I just think you just gotta outlast these people and take out people who have resumes, honestly.
I think she needed a resume because she's the youngest in the house, so people weren't taking her seriously. So I think it would have been like an up for her to get down there and be like, look, I smoked you all.
Well, like she promised Alyssa the final two and then like basically took her out of the game. I just think that rat game would have worked if she wasn't HOH. Like
Alyssa liked that in her interview. She said Hannah was playing the best game.
Oh, well, she is. She just might go home. Like, although if Tiffany goes home this week, I can see Hannah doing a little better because
I was thinking that too. But if the Xavier, Kylan, and Derek have things real, then they're still.
If that's real, then it's stupid. First of all, for all three of them, like Xavier should not be taking Kylan either. Like, I don't know. Maybe
Hannah, I think, is like Xavier, where when she needs to win a comp or feels like she needs to win a comp, she's gonna do it. So I could see her actually winning this veto and pulling herself down.
It's the comic ones. I think she has a very good shot.
Yeah, I mean,
memory, as well.
These comps at the end, like final six and towards the end of the game, some are physical, but they're really, really mentally challenging, and she's gonna kill them. Yeah, she's gonna kill them, absolutely. So I think she comes down. She wins. She comes down. Ozzy goes up. Tiffany goes home.
That's what I say.
And then maybe she wins this next HOH.
I think
I'm not
she
a fan.
Needs to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of winning the final five because ideally you want to win that final four and get to play for the final three HOH. But if she's in danger, then absolutely win it. And just if she doesn't win the one that she won, she probably does pretty good on this whole chicken wire egg comp that Kylan won.
I just think every competition is going to be so important from here on out for them.
Yeah.
If you're in a final six, final five of all of your alliance members, I mean, the cards could fall wherever, you know. I mean, everything is going to depend on these competitions.
I mean, that's what they wanted, and that's what most alliances that initially begin say, let's make it to the final six, final eight, and just battle it out. Well, we're finally going to get to see it, happen.
Well, we're going to have a back forth, though, because of the double. The double, I don't really want a double in this one. I mean, maybe it works, but the drama would have been crazy, like the past 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks.
Just this week. I mean, the amount of scheming that has to go on now that it's just that alliance left. Yeah. I really wanted to see that. I do think we're getting shafted and not being able to see how the week would actually turn out. But I mean, there's no lying that a double eviction is pretty entertaining to watch live, even though it can be kind of messy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with the double, I feel like Tiffany and Hannah got behind everybody else socially.
Yeah,
they tried to put all their eggs in Kylan's basket this last week, and now he nominates them. So.
Wait, how many weeks are left?
2,
3.
3.
So this is a 2-hour long double eviction episode. Nick, I think you and I talked about it last week, the possibility of there being a fake double. So that first person would go out at the beginning of the show, and then they would evict the second one, but then they'd have a competition to bring one of them back in, and we'd be at the final 5 with 2 weeks left.
Wasn't that Canada?
Yeah. I don't know if they have enough time to do that, but maybe. Final 5 with 2
That would
weeks
be crazy if
final 5 with 2 weeks.
What would be crazy if Tiffany goes out in the first part, right, and then Kylan goes out the second part, then Tiffany beats Kylan and comes back. That would be insane.
But as of Thursday, there's only 3 players left. So then you have another eviction the next week to determine the final 2, right, and then finale. Or
as of Thursday, there would be 4 players left.
4 left. There's 6 now.
And then there would be. They usually do from 3 towards the end of the season.
But there's 3 weeks left, right? So what? So 2 weeks would be at 4. 1 week would be at.
I love when we all try to do math.
I can't do this. Yeah, I don't understand.
Do I need to get my fingers out?
I don't understand. How could there be 3 weeks left if we're doing a double? Does that make sense?
There'll be
guys?
4,
Well, because
and
add
then
the
next
double, then
week
there's only
that
2.
4th will go, and then the finale will be with the final 3 into final 2.
So at the second double, there's only 2 weeks left. In this
Okay,
month.
you're right. All right. I get it.
Finale September 25th.
When does Survivor come on? That same.
In 2 weeks. No, the week before the finale.
Damn. What? All right.
Let's go to number 1, who is Xavier, who is more than 2 points ahead of second place with an 8.1. Still in first place, up 0.4.
Wow, I wasn't on my own with the high score this time. We all kind of.
I wasn't.
I gave an 8.5. It was 8.1.
Me and May gave him 9s.
Damn. No, I mean
he wins. Come on, who are we joking?
It's his game to lose. But I don't want it. It's boring. I don't want it. I don't really want it.
I'd like to see him win. I enjoyed seeing Ty win and BB Cannon and I.
Yeah, Ty played a great game. Perfect.
And I would enjoy seeing Xavier win.
Big Brother winner.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like bored. Like not bored. Like he's playing really great and he has like made no flaws, I feel. But it's boring. I don't know. I don't think he doesn't spice it up for me. Like I don't get intrigued watching him win everything or not win everything, like do well and everything.
But what do you mean do well in everything? He's lost everything.
No, I'm saying do well in all aspects of the game. Like he really has a stronghold on a lot of things. Like socially, like being like his image in the game.
Nick, disagree with him. You
don't think so? I mean, he's played almost
well,
every.
I think he has a flaw. I think his flaw, like I said on the I think the thing Days is talking about on the feeds is that he's not very good at like adjusting things, and he could be
adjusting,
like pivoting in the game. He will cry about it before actually trying to do something about it.
But that's himself, though, right? Or no? He cries to other people. I don't remember.
Not like cry, but like whine.
Like he whines about it.
Right? Yeah,
he is a whiner.
Nick said that the difference between Xavier and Kylan is that Kylan's really good at manipulating, but I countered that Xavier's whining to people is a form of manipulation,
and that's playing the game. Like like I said, I'm standing by. He's playing every aspect completely, like accurately and perfect for his game. The whining comes into effect of him not being a huge threat who's making decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I still see him.
We know what he does for a living. We know he's not going into the courtroom whining to the judge to get what he wants. So this is something that he doesn't normally do.
He's doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not like this is not a courtroom. He's locked in a house for all this time. I think he could be frustrated with certain things. I think everybody could get frustrated.
Well, does he get frustrated? Does he talk to everybody when he's frustrated, or does he talk to
he talks to everybody?
Everybody? Oh my god, I haven't seen the feeds in a while, so. Okay.
I'm sure he does that as a lawyer too, just not in the courtroom.
Yeah, like to his coworkers, to his clients. Yeah.
I mean, I do that. Do you not?
I don't have any coworkers, so.
My coworkers
are complaints to make to any other human being ever.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never bitch and moan, Dave. You used to be on DXPnet. I don't know where you bitch and moan now.
I've kind of taken myself away from all social media, just kind of gotten tired of it. I have y'all now, so like that's the highlights of my week.
Oh, you have Reddit. You said Reddit, right?
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts on frontrunner Xavier, who is well on his way to a win, unless somebody decides to try and take a shot soon?
Who's going to take the shot?
Hannah is the only one, right? Hannah's not gonna do.
But if Hannah puts up Kylan and Xavier, I think Kylan goes home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Xavier will not go home anymore. That's the problem. Like Hannah will have to put X with DF. Actually, Derek F might be the one who stays over him.
They would have to get him out.
If it's Kai and Azza voting, I think
maybe
Xavier stays.
If Kylan's ego doesn't get in his way.
I don't see X losing a veto. Like the only way you get him out is through a back door, and we're past that point in the game.
X is.
They could backdoor this week.
No,
they're not gonna do it to X though. He's not.
There's only 6 players.
Oh, they're all playing in the veto. Backdoor is when they're not in the veto,
If
right?
they don't have a chance to win.
Whatever. What's a new term for?
Technicality.
What's a new term for when they're not initially on the block and then they end up on the block because they didn't win veto? Can we make a term for that? Can we start one?
That's backdooring.
That's not
That's what I'm saying. He can still go on the block this week if one game
it's not a
veto.
technical backdoor. Is what
So can we just name a new thing? 'Cause
Oh.
everyone gets so mad about the backdoor term. Like, let's just make a whole new one, okay? Front door, fucking, we're front dooring people because they tried and they couldn't do it. I don't know, like.
He'd never be backdoored on Kylan's HOH anyway, though.
No, he wouldn't. That's the thing. He's not gonna lose. X is not gonna lose. Kylan is playing.
The only way he loses is if someone wins final 3 and cuts him a final 3. That's the only way I see him losing.
Hannah will do that.
He'd have to go out in a double, and it's not going to happen.
Hannah could possibly win the final. Like if she, I think she could do it.
I think she could.
It's such a mess.
X could win the physical portion of it. Hannah could win the other one, and then they verse in memory stuff, and Hannah would beat X, I think, in memory.
We know that either Tiff or Hannah are going this week. We know that Big D and Azza are going to get to the final 3 most likely. It's just what happens in week 5 and week 4 or weeks.
It all comes down to the comps.
Yeah.
It all comes down to what they are and who wins.
It's too predictable right now at the moment.
No, what's predictable? No, you don't know. No, it's not predictable. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. I think
we can predict the winner, but not how we get there.
Okay, sure. But that to me is like predictable. If like I don't really care if how else it plays out if X just wins it. Like
why? That's the game.
I know, but I want.
That's why you watch the show, Alex.
I want crazy shit happening. I want like.
US is not the home of crazy shit.
I'm on the verge of not watching Big Brother US anymore.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I'm kind
just
of
like.
over it. And that's coming from somebody who absolutely loves Big Brother.
These are all individuals trying to win money. I cannot believe that like there's a lot of seasons where people just like lie down and die like all the time. And that's what pisses me off. Like X is just gonna win and people are playing actively for him to win. Big D's doing that, Kai's doing that, Ozza might be doing that, you know. It's just so.
But isn't that what makes him a good player, though?
No,
they can't see that on the inside.
He's a great player. I'm saying the other players are just not gonna try to fight. I don't know. Maybe they think they beat X, maybe, but it's just like I don't know.
I just don't understand what you're so upset about.
I'm upset because I'm just gonna watch X win after like 3 weeks from now. Like
because he was the best player.
I know,
that's what we're here to watch happen.
Alex is, I think, the basis of what he's trying to say is that a lot of the seasons of Big Brother now are steamrolls, and people do absolutely nothing at the end. Like they're okay with letting this person
I love X's game. I think he plays really game, but
I said this at one of my live feeds that this is like Kiefer and BB Can, and everybody in the jury was saying Kiefer's gonna win. Kiefer's gonna win,
and they still bring him closer.
But
and closer.
They finally did eventually make a move. So somebody needs to actually wake up and see that.
Well, that's because there's still Ty in the game. There's like Tara and like they weren't gonna be like taking him to the end like at all. I don't think.
Where do you find these people? Like if I played a game of Uno with a couple friends at the kitchen table, I'd be trying to cut their throat just to win.
Yeah.
Let alone being
in this game,
you do
$1,000.
In this game, you do need certain people for a certain amount of time. So it's not like you could just cut them early and then expect to make the end.
Also, like you can't just pick up 4. Like this is
pick up 4.
There's a lot more. Like, so what you do in Uno, right? You like draw 4.
Pick up 4.
Okay.
But
draw 4 wild card. It's like the worst one, right?
It is. Well, no, not the wild.
The people
4 by itself is the worst one.
Some of these people in the house are like holding their hands backwards so you can see all their cards, and just letting the person across from them win the game.
That's my problem. I have no problem with X. I'm saying even Tiff, like.
But realistically, it's only Kylan right now who's like, I could beat Xavier in the end. Nobody else is really saying they could beat Xavier.
Derek has said that. I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said it.
Well, he is delusional, so he probably did.
So it's not just Kylan, and that's 1/3 of the game or cast left right now. That's enough for him to just win without doing anything. He could just lose all the comps too at this point and still get there to the final 3 and then win that. Like, he's gonna do it unless Hannah's there. That's why Hannah's the only person left that could beat him in something, I think. Well, I mean, Kai won't get that. I don't know. Whatever. But I just don't see it happening. I would love to be proven wrong though. Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. I would love for someone to, like, the show just take a whole different turn and X doesn't make it far. But I don't see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be happy with the next win. I want to see it happen, just because it still, I say this every week, baffles me on how you let this big, gorgeous man make it to the end of this game. How do you do it?
He's not my type. Okay.
No,
he's so pretty. So pretty.
Not my type either.
Calvin Klein model, yes.
Calvin Klein.
Derek X is much more my type.
Derek X is dope. Absolutely.
Well, any final thoughts on final 6?
Battle back. Derek X comes back with Tiff.
I am glad to see that, like, their whole plan worked out and that this is a great alliance. Yes. And I think they did an amazing job. And I'm glad that it's them in the final 6. And I hope that Big Brother can just move up and forward from this season.
Yeah.
I just don't think that, like, race should have any part in these games at all when it comes to like who you can trust and who you want to see in the end based on race, whether that's white or black. So I'm ready to move on from it and get back to the gameplay.
Yeah, no, this season proves that race has nothing to do with like trust or like who you connect with the most. Cause like, honestly, every single one of their pairings they trusted them much more than each other. But and that's why it is fascinating to watch this season play out the way it did.
But I mean, that comes down to casting, because Robin Cass had all these racists in all these seasons who were getting after being blatantly racist to black players or just getting them out early. So
no, I love seeing such a diverse cast, and I'm so glad that it's the 6 of them there. And I think this is a great moment for Big Brother. But I'm ready to see kind of where they can take this in the future.
I would say if we're doing the 8-8 split with the diversity, maybe not 6-1-1, maybe like more like a 3-4, like, 3-2-2 sort of thing. Like, I really can't count. 3-2-3. Oh shit. Okay.
I mean,
end the podcast.
If we could just get 100% game players on the show.
Oh, you said game players.
To be honest, I thought so too. I was gonna roll with it.
I'm down for that too, but
I would watch it.
I would watch. That would be sickening because every single one of them would really just like go after each other. Like,
yeah, it would be fucking
drag
race on steroids.
They would snake you. Like, it would be great. It would be great to watch. And they would be game players. So Dave is still right. Dave still gets it right.
All right. Any final thoughts? Well, until next week, until we go from 6 to 4 for the final 4.